Okay. 2.46. Yavan artha udapane sarvatas samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. The sacrifices and rituals mentioned in Karmakanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. We discussed this. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primary cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship with the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter. Living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest stage of Vedic knowledge. It's confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ahovata sapachavato variyan yajjhvagre vartate nama tubhyam epus tapasteju sasnurarya brahmanuchur nama grananti yete. Oh my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, all the born of a low family like the Rahat Chandala, is situated on the highest platform self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to the studied the Vedic literatures many, many times after taking his bath in all the holy places. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms or a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all the Vedanta and the Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. And Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist. Instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master had found him to be a great fool, and thus asked him to chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna. He did so and became so ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in the Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. We have to know the purpose behind the Vedas, which is to know Krishna and our relationship with him. Glorification of chanting. Yeah, one must be able to understand the purpose of Vedas without being attached to the rituals only. Like in Krishna Leela, we have the Yajnik Brahmanas who want to go to heaven, so they are engaged in a sacrifice. But when the cowherd boys come asking for food for Krishna Balaram, they refuse or they just ignore. Because they were just stuck in the Vedas. They didn't understand that whole purpose behind that is to serve Lord Krishna, who was right there. And must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms. Okay. Best purpose of the Veda is served by chanting the holy name as recommended by Lord Chaitanya. You should remember this. Spiritual master had found him to be a great fool. So you should also think we are in this position and we should always chant the holy name. Inoffensively chanting. Again, we have discussed this. Try to avoid offenses, 10 offenses to the holy name. The highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name. not simply as a matter of routine, duty, responsibility. I've given a word to my guru during initiation, so I'm chanting. As we are chanting, if we are not developing taste for chanting, that means that something is. So naturally, one should develop taste for chanting, which means that after 16 rounds, we don't tie up the japa bag and put it up in the cupboard. Which means that we increase the number of rounds of chanting, which means that when we are distressed, we immediately pick up the chanting bag. So our whole surrender dependence on the holy name increases. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic. Okay. Okay. Maybe then we'll stop here because we already covered many words. Okay. Oh, karmanyevadikaraste. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्मा ते संगोऽस्तु कर्मणि. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached not to your duty. There are 4 parts here. First is we have a right to perform prescribed duty, not simply any duty. So first we have to understand what is prescribed duty, and then we have the right to perform. It means we should perform. We don't have to, there's no, as in, it's given to us, right? So it's approved. But you're not entitled to the fruits, not to the karma phala. Also, we should not consider ourselves the result, cause of the result. So, generally if something good happens, oh, I have done it. Something bad happens, oh, somebody else did it. We're always trying to find cause. And if we consider ourselves the cause, then we're bound. And then people might ask, okay, you're saying don't be entitled to, don't think about the fruits, don't consider yourself the doer, then why should I do? I will not do. So Krishna is saying, no, but you should also not be attached to not doing your duty. So he is completely covered. Watertight argument. There are 3 considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Capricious work is vikarma. Prescribed duties is karma. Karma, vikarma, karma. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority. And inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. See, look at this. If you're attached to the result, then you also automatically become the cause of the action. And if you're the cause of the action, then you will have karma phala. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such action. So the whole thing is attachment. With attachment to result, then one becomes the cause, then one has to enjoy or suffer the result. So basically, we should not be attached to the result of work, which means that we should just do work as a matter of duty, understand that based on my karma phala, I will make progress, remain stagnant in my work, or even deteriorate, whatever. It's just happening because of my karma phala, but we just stick to our work. Previously, there were no change in profession options. Like see, today's world, because we have so many options, we think, oh, okay, I can create a better situation for myself. Previously, people never used to think that way, right? I mean, if farmer has some land and whatever is coming out of it, it's coming out of it. That's it, right? No saying, okay, let me now change my profession. I'll get paid 30% more there. Didn't exist. And so they were never attached to the result. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to get this year. Okay, fine. Krishna's will. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into 3 subdivisions, namely routine work. This is niyamita karma, nitya karma. Emergency work, apad dharma. And desired activities is kami karma. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in the mode of goodness. So we just do routine work as an obligation in terms of scriptural injunctions. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. This we already did. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties fruitlessly lead one onto the path of liberation. Now, obviously, when these words are there, people ask, how can I work if I'm disinterested in my job? Not disinterested in the job, you're disinterested in the result. You do job with full attention, give it whatever is required based on what is expected in your job, etc. And he's saying such disinterestedness doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Why? Because one is, there is no karma phala. Second is we start realizing, okay, I am not this body. I'm doing something is coming, okay, it's fine. Not coming, okay, that's also fine. Why? Because I am not this body. So it will doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. So action or not action, both are attachment. Such attachment as in non-participation is also attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. It's also very important. Sometimes, we don't want to do anything at all. Positive is also not good. Negative is also not good. Okay, let me not do it at all. No, that is also sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only path. So we can understand this, right? Like, see, people today, no tolerance, no sense of duty. So if something is convenient, I'll do. Otherwise, I will not do. But that is sinful. So previously, people never used to consider that option. They used to say, okay, I have to just tolerate and let me just continue my work. Then, whenever Lord willing, things will iron out. So fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path. So, which is why Varnashrama is so important, because previously people used to live in this system and they are so used to it. There's no question of, like discussion, debate, argument about these things, because this is how life used to be. Actually, if people can understand these words, they will start progressing on the path of liberation. But unfortunately, people in India only have taken the first quarter of this verse. First part only they have taken. And that also not incomplete understanding. Your right to perform your duty, they changed it. They removed prescribed, because they didn't understand what prescribed means. Prescribed is Varnashrama. Varnashrama, Purusha Dharma, Stri Dharma. Just do as a matter of duty without attachment to result. And don't consider yourself the doer. This is the art of doing it. So this is very, very important. Every day people who are working, like I keep saying, Purusha Dharma, Stri Dharma is different. Those who are working at job, each and every moment, this should be our consciousness. First of all, we are engaged with asat. Let me not get too attached to it. Let me work sincerely, just as a matter of responsibility. It may or may not be my prescribed duty. That's another problem in Kali Yuga. We are all Varna Sankara. But we do work without attachment. We don't think I'm the doer. Many times we've seen, like, if something good happens, suddenly, oh, I did this, I did that, you automatically get into this boasting mode. But I'm not the doer. I'm just one of the 5 causes for a result to happen. So I'm only 1/5 of the cause for the result. One should not get too engaged in this. I'm the doer. And of course, then not doing our duties. Another thing is, like, for example, then one might ask, okay, what about brahmacharis who have left their house and given up their parents? Are they not, like, not doing their duty? No, because this concept is only for those who are within them, one who's giving up everything for the pleasure of Krishna, Guru and Krishna, that is Nistraigunya, above all these 3 modes. So it's absolutely fine to be doing that, because like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas when he had a old mother and a very young wife. He didn't really care, and because for a higher reason. So like that, for a higher reason, we might sometimes give up our lower duties. Okay.
Do one question. So Prabhupada talks about 3 subdivisions, right? Emergency work. So what is the emergency work?
So, for example, like, see, in Vedas it is recommended saying that one should not eat meat, for example, right? It's injunction. Now, one might be in emergency. For example, once Parshurama was so they were engaged in some duty, and sorry. Yeah, so they are engaged in some ritual, something for a higher cause, and then suddenly they have had to face a situation where there was no food to be eaten. So then I think Vishwamitra, he goes to house of a Chandala and who dog meat, right? And because there was no food, he would have died. And if he died, whatever he was trying to endeavor for wouldn't have been satisfied. So he eats meat, dog's meat. As soon as he eats dog's meat, then he rejuvenates his energy, etc. Now at that point of time, that Chandala's son, he comes with a glass of water. And as soon as he comes with a glass of water, suddenly, Vishwamitra, he suddenly bursts out saying, what is this? How can one drink water from the hands of a Chandala? Then that person is asking, Arey Baba, just now you ate meat from my hand. That was apad dharma. I would have died otherwise. But now my energy is revived. Now I can't do this, because then it is considered sinful. Right, so when there are emergencies, we have some leeway to give up our duties. So, for example, like if somebody is unwell, right? If they're not doing their normal routine duty, it's okay. So, some exceptions where our routine work can be skipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, one question, Prabhu.
Yeah, 1 second. Andrea Mataji, I read in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita that Kshatriyas were not being paid. Exactly, system was managed. Kshatriyas were not being paid as in they collect taxes. So they collect taxes. Taxes are kept in the treasury, and they are given back to the people when there are difficulties, right? example, there's a drought, there's something else, people need government supplies. Vaishyas, absolutely, they are the generators. Economy is coming from Vaishyas. Brahmanas received charity, and they also used to give charity. Dadati, what is that? Not Dadati Prati.
Dadati Pratigana.
No. Patan Patan Yajan Yajan Dana Pratigraha. Dana and Pratigraha. So you take Dana, you give Dana also, Brahmanas. Shudras were just being taken care by Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas. So Vaishyas had money, Kshatriyas also had money that way, and Brahmanas, because of Dana, they also used to have money. So then they would take care of the requirements of. Is that okay? Okay, Arnath Prabhu.
Prabhu, like in the work, right, without attachment to the result, right? That's actually like promotion. We should not be behind like promotion, salary, position. What? Yeah, that's clear and it's fine. Actually, we are not like. Thing is actually like what? Like let's say like I'm going on the project success. Project success is duty or attachment. Like what is the line?
No, project. You are not working for project success. You are working. You are given a work to be done. You are putting the effort for that. Right now, you are working to make sure that you deliver whatever you are supposed to deliver. If, for example, if you are expected to manage a particular project, you are working towards managing. Now, when you are managing that project, you are not managing thinking that, oh, I mean, this should become a success and I should get this, that, and all that. No. And if suppose say you did very well, you put a lot of effort, and then you didn't get any appreciation from your bosses or whoever, and you should not feel bad saying that, oh, what is this? Nobody recognized my work. You just say, I just did because this was my duty. I'm being paid for this. And I did this. That's all. If it didn't achieve, you put all the effort, but you didn't get whatever, it's okay. That's ordained not to get. That's all. Not get too sucked into it and then emotionally affected, etc. No. Then figure out, okay, what should I have done differently? Is there anything materially that I could have done differently? Or sometimes, it just happens. Everything happened, but just, it was not the right time. So people generally call it as bad luck, ill luck, whatever, right? So that means that whatever you put, still it was not ordained, then it's fine. But if suppose there are gaps in the work that you have done, there are ways to improve it, then that can be considered. You said, okay, I learned these things from this episode. But not getting discouraged and, result orientation, nobody appreciated. I put so many night outs, I went over and above my call of duty, this, that, and all that. And then eventually what happens is, I've seen like people generally lose interest. One or two such episodes, people lose interest, then they start looking out for jobs. Standard. Pretty standard stuff. Right? Because we are too attached to the result. We don't want to work anywhere. We say, why should I work anywhere where there's no recognition of my abilities? Let me go find other people who can recognize whatever, all kinds of reasoning with you. Find another job and it's the same thing. Same thing repeats. So just be tolerant, do your work. You should see the whole gauge, Arnath, is that we should feel satisfied with the work that we put in. Like we should feel, okay, no, it's fine. I did my duty. I put my best. It didn't work. That's it, right? Like, what can I do? But if there is gap in our effort, then definitely. But even that should not be over and over. Like, like, oh my God, eating, sleeping, everything is just work, this deadline, that deadline. Not like that. Just okay, I have to do my work and do. So, and this is very important, right? The rest of the time we are Krishna conscious. Now, say we are sitting in front of work for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever that is. Of course, without traveling, ideally, we should not be working for more than 10 hours because previously 8 hours you used to work plus 2 hours traveling, right? So now, say use the 2 hours for working. Still, one should not work more than 10 hours. And in 10 hours, you are If your work demands, you will not lose focus. You will completely focus on your work.
Right.
Of course, then when you don't have work, you also preach to people, like devotees, which is very good. But if work demands so much, then you just do and you will be efficient. Because if you are Krishna conscious, then generally you are extremely efficient at work. If you don't want to waste extra time, you don't want to waste Krishna's time for doing some work of this material world. So we generally become more efficient. But yeah, all that is part of the effort. But not worrying about the result, not consider myself the doer, not being attached to not doing duty, and all this. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, then we end for today. We finished 2 points. We'll continue on Friday. Okay. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha